Hey guys, so I thought I'd do a little video. I've not done an update for absolutely ages. About 6 months ago, I moved house and chucked everything in the car, work, blah, blah, blah. Cut a long story short, um, I hadn't really got my hobby stuff out, and you know how it goes. The longer you leave something, the less you try and get it going, and it's just got to a point where I just completely lost any I won't say any will to paint, but I just completely lost my mojo. Um, and of course, you get to the point where you need a good couple of hours to get stuff sorted out. Um, so last month, hang on, someone's just sorry, bear with me a sec. I've got a Google Hangout. Yeah, sorry. I've got a Google Hangout on the go, and no one's joined, so I'm just trying to make this quick video. Um, right. So sorry. Get back to it. Yeah, about last month, I went down to my local Games Workshop store, and what I was looking for was they don't seem to do it anymore or anything similar. But quite a while back, I bought like 4 orcs for £6. I was looking for something like that, something small and cheap, quick and easy to paint. They don't do anything like that for Chaos. And it's funny, I said nothing too big, nothing too expensive, nothing too big. And I really wanted more than one model. Typical me, what I actually came out with was the Chaos War Shrine. And the reason that, yeah, it's 35 quid. It's quite a big model, but I apologise for using this camera. If you look at it, if you split it all down, you've got lots of different elements. You've got the guy on the top who, um, I'm looking at his skin colour and I'm thinking, um, do you know what? It's been so long I forgot what half the characters are. Blood Reavers, is it? Um, you got the two guys on the bottom, and I'm thinking demonettes, demon, some kind of demon skin. You've got lots of brass. You've actually got wooden bits, um, stone bits, more brassy bits, and of course fire. And I figured if I split the elements down, um, I could probably treat that as what, one, two, three, 4 or 5 different elements. Um, so anyway, so I got it started today. I haven't done an awful lot. And the first, I'm just going to see what's like this. Whoops. So like, I think it's better with that backlight on, except that obviously you've got that bright light. If I do that, that's probably a bit better. Yeah. So I mean, the first thing that I looked at, you've got this little bit, and it's got skulls in it. But once it's actually assembled, you can see it's quite difficult to get at those skulls. So I painted them separately. So obviously I've had to base coat it first, and then stupidly I started painting this bit. I've started that as a wood colour, and then obviously I've then glued the bit on the end. So of course you can see my problem. I've got part of it as base coated, painted brown, and then Agrax Earthshade, and then you've got some that I'm going to base, and of course that's my base. So try to spray that bit black without getting that bit. So I'm going to have to mask that off and spray it. So I've started getting bits of it together, and I'm really pleased with it. I mean, it's difficult to see with this web camera. It's not a brilliant one, as you can see. It's very close I can get that. But yeah, I'm happy with those results. What I'm going to do is I'm going to book some painting time down Games Workshop, because I think I'm not 100% sure, because I can only dry fit this so far. But this bit, it's kind of like a little chop and block. I don't know if you can see, but on one side there's a little nick. So obviously what's going to happen is they're going to, I don't know, chop the heads off, and then all the blood's going to run down. And I'm guessing that it's going to go something like that. So as you can see, no, you can't see because it's too fiddly. You see the problems I'm having. So they're going to chop, and everything's going to run into there. So what I'm thinking about doing, I've seen this done on a gaming board. I want to fill this section up with blood for the blood god. So I'll make the level come higher than the skulls, but because the blood for the blood god is slightly see-through, you'll see the skulls just coming through. So I suspect that what I'm going to have to do is brighten the skulls up a little bit, so that obviously when you've got blood for the blood god, they're going to be a little bit more visible. May not be the case, I don't know. So yeah, so I'm going to take it down to Games Workshop and say, look, this is what I'm aiming to do. How would you do it? I can't remember which Games Workshop I actually went to that had. Do you know what? I keep getting a lot of people in the area riding around in cars, beeping horns. I actually love this area. I'm in Aylesbury, and I've completely changed the subject. With regards to race, colour, etc., I've always been fine. I treat people as I find them. If I think you're a twat, it's because you're a twat, not because you come from another country or whatever. But the area that I'm living in, it's a largely Muslim area, and a couple of months ago was Ramadan. I won't go into details about Ramadan if you don't know what it is. But all you need to know is that when people are on Ramadan, they don't eat in the daytime. And it was a really difficult summer because the day was so long. And it was getting dark about 9:30. And if you walk through the streets about 9 o'clock, everybody in the street is cooking, ready to eat at 9:30. So the whole street is just full of these lovely cooking smells. But with it being summer, you've got there's a park just over that way, a little public park, and they play cricket every night. And I quite often see. I'm not much into cricket. I don't really like it. It kind of bores me. I appreciate it for the sport that it is. But I've seen you get the One Day World Cup, and everyone's wearing all these colourful tops. Is it Australia will wear green and England will wear whatever colour? And what you've got over the field, you've got. I can't see it too well. They're actually wearing cricket whites today, but sometimes you see them and there's two teams, and one team's dressed in the India and the other one's dressed in the Pakistan. I suppose it's like a little World Cup. It's quite good. Anyway, that's completely off topic. So yeah, the stage I'm at with the wall shrine. So I'm going to be doing some base painting tomorrow, but I'm gonna try and fully assemble this bit. Try and figure out where this goes, and then start work on this little nasty bit. That's going to go on like that. You can see it already. It's starting to look quite good. You've got the two guys that carries it. They've been assembled. As you see, I did start on one, so they need to be based, and then I'll start on the purple. I'm thinking, you'll have to forgive me on this, because it's been so long. I've completely forgotten the set lists. So I can't even work on my own set lists anymore. But I've got this old chart, so you probably can't read it from there. But I'll base it demon at hide, then shade it with violet, then warp field grey, Slanesh grey. And I don't know if it shows up on here, but the guy's extremities, like their arms, try to do this backwards, the arms, and there we can see it quite well down there. As it gets further down the arm, it gets more purple. So what I'm probably going to do is get like maybe Slanesh grey, not Slanesh grey, Demonette hide, excuse me, and really thin it down with Lamia medium. And then what I'll do is say paint from there all the way down, and then apply a coat, say starting from there and work it all the way down, and then do another coat, say maybe from there, so that it gets darker as we go down. Yeah, and that's essentially it. There's obviously, you can see from the sprue, there's still a lot of things to assemble. I've got some little flamey bits. I'm not going to put those on initially because I want to just have a look at them. I've got a feeling it might be easier if I paint the flames and then glue the casing around it rather than try to get in. So yeah, I mean, it's thankfully I've not lost the skill in sort of deassembling things in my head. It looks quite a complex piece, and I got the feeling that with the new points in the General's Handbook that it's probably not going to be very good for the points. But you know me, I don't play to win, I don't play to annihilate. I just collect pieces because I like to try and get one of everything. If it looks good on the table, or I've enjoyed painting it, or whatever, I'll buy more of them. But War Shrine, I haven't got one, so yeah, I'll get it. So updates. I've made a lot of videos where I've done like part 1, part 2, and not ever actually got around to finishing it. And I think I've got something like 20-30 pieces that I've not finished. So I'm going to give up on the idea of making unboxing to finished. What my plan is to have. I'm in the job. I'm between jobs at the moment. I've been accepted for a new bus company. So my basic working week's going to be a 5-day week. I'll try and get myself onto the rota. I'm a bit of an overtime monger, so I'll probably end up working 6 days a week. But that still leaves me 1 day. Excuse me. Yeah, that still leaves me 1 day a week where I can do a big chunk of painting. But you don't need a lot of painting time. What I've achieved today, I've probably done in about 2, maybe 3 hours, and that's including waiting time. So yeah, I mean, if all goes to plan, I'll be on a 4-day rota. When you're on a 4-day rota, what you do, instead of doing an 8-hour day 5 days a week, you do a 10-hour day 4 days a week. And then once you're on that, you can then do 1 day's overtime. So you end up doing 50 hours a week. Obviously you get paid for 50 hours, but then you've still got 2 days off. So I'm just trying to make for a coffee. I've taken to drinking out of a travel mug because I take the travel mug to work with me. Obviously I'm driving the bus, I'll buy a takeaway coffee or something. I've got nowhere to put it. The travel mug, it keeps it a little bit warm a bit longer, and I've got a little handle, so I tend to just hang it on the window. And then when I get home, I just give it a rinse out rather than dirtying another cup up. Just keep using the same cup. So I end up drinking that. So I've got loads of travel mugs. I think I've got 3 travel mugs at the moment. but they just work better for me. I've actually treated myself to a glass. I don't drink Guinness, but I saw the glass in the shop. When it comes to stuff, I'm a bit of a cheapskate. I've got plates and bowls. I've all bought from charity shops, 25p each. Personally, I don't see the difference between eating your dinner off a budget plate or an expensive plate. It still tastes the same. Anyway, I waffle once again. So yeah, so my plan is, I mean, I've got other hobbies apart from this. So I'm just going to try and dedicate 3 sessions, maybe 4 sessions. Well, maybe 7 sessions a week of an hour or less. But talking like proper 2, 3, 4 hour sessions, I'm probably going to try and get sort of 2 sessions in a week. I'm probably not. I'm going to just back off on the working, on the bench type videos, because I've still got a lot of stuff to get in from the car. I've just gone. I mean, I was painting today. There's a lot of my brushes are missing, so I know they're in boxes in the car. And it's a little bit like being a beginner, where you just have maybe 2 brushes, a couple of paints, and something, and then you're working on something, and you're like, oh, I need to get so so you end up buying something. Except the difference for me is like, oh, have you got this? Right, I can find it in the car. So hopefully over the next 2 or 3 weeks, I'll get everything in from the car, get everything set up, and then away I go. So yeah, so I've got some other hobbies I really need to work on that have been way more neglected than Age of Sigmar or Warhammer. I know you guys are going to go, well, what's more important than Warhammer? But yeah, there are things. There are not necessarily more important, but there are things that sort of fit into the important scale. And also being in Buckinghamshire, I've only been here 6 months, and I have absolutely no idea what Buckinghamshire is like. I see some wonderful places, so I'm wanting to spend maybe 1 day a week just going somewhere. Being a bus driver, I get free bus travel, so there's no excuse for me not just popping on the bus and just going somewhere. So if you're interested in pictures of places and experiences, then yeah, you'd probably be interested in my website, but otherwise, no. So yeah, I'll leave it there, guys. So at least you've seen something. Also, something really a bit special for me. About a year ago, I bumped into Annie, Dice Bag Lady, and she sold me the project I had on the go or was thinking about was some female Chaos Warriors, and I bought these female heads off her. 10 heads in there, and then I thought, well, I'll get these Chaos Warriors, I'll cut the heads off, stick these heads on. Lost the heads, gave them up to dead. Turns out what happened was I had a lot of my camping gear around my friend's house, and it's been there for nearly a year. And I went up the other week because I had a motorbike rally, so I needed to go and get this camping gear. So I went up to Pete. Sorry, I'm a bit obsessed with that. Look at this. I'm going really grey. I've had like a little splash of grey since I was 21, and it's just stayed like it for ages, and I'm not really worried about it. But about a month ago, I had a haircut, and I noticed that the amount of grey in my hair has doubled. Not that it's an issue, because I don't really care about going grey. I may or may not dye my hair, but I never dyed my hair to cover grey. I've dyed my hair because I want a different colour. One of my favourite colours is like a burgundy colour, sort of like a winey colour. But I've also dyed. I used to play football, and if we did well, I'd go out and buy some dye, and I'd dye my hair like really bright blue. And with my hair being so dark, it doesn't take that well. So you can kind of see flashes of blue on the edges. But obviously having this grey patch, it would just go. Yeah, anyway, I completely forgot what I was saying now. I do apologise. Yeah, Warhammer, yeah, I'm glad to say my mojo's coming back. I won't be going obsessive with videos. Travel, I'm going to do a little bit of travel, take some pictures. I'm save up for motorbike. Once I get my motorbike back on the road, there'll be more travel involved. Pictures, fancy camera, etc., etc. My genealogy, I'm trying to do a little tiny bit a day. And yeah, playing Warhammer. I'd like to try and play some games because I've moved. The trouble I have is I move to an area and I make contacts. Uh, you'll know who you are, but I made a couple of really good contacts when I was near Staines in London, and then obviously I've moved away from there, and I've not really got involved with the Warhammer scene in Aylesbury. So I've got no contacts. And there was a campaign going on, excuse me smoking, there was a campaign going on at the local Games Workshop store, but I was just working so many hours. The bus company I worked for, that's, I mentioned Ramadan, the company that I used to work for up until last week, is a Muslim-run company and most of the drivers are Muslim. So over Ramadan, there were a lot of people taking time off. So I was getting a lot of overtime in. Very, very profitable for me. But obviously, the more hours you work, the less free time you have. So that's kind of, I think that's why my mojo's been killed a bit. So yeah, I think that's about it. It's just a case of getting stuff in from the car and tidying it up, and of course trying to keep it tidy. So I'll leave it there and I'll upload that to YouTube. Hope I haven't bored the hell out of you too much. But yeah, at least you know I'm back up painting. Oh yeah, the other aim I had. I keep saying, oh, I'm going to finish. I'm going to do unfinished models. What I'm going to do is, I'm not going to say I'm not starting anything new, because you know the score of Games Workshop, they bring something new out, it's absolutely brilliant, you've got to buy it. Although I have resisted the temptation to buy Archeon, what his name is, some really fiddly bits on there. And I've mentioned about potentially moving, not moving from Buckinghamshire, but moving house to something with a bit more space. I don't know if that's going to happen now. But obviously, if I've got a fully built model this big and I try to move it, there's always the risk of breaking it. So obviously I've got that, and I've got the Ever Chosen that I want to get. So the rule I've decided to make is I'm going to have no more than 5 projects on the go. And then obviously once I finish one of those projects, I try to pick something else up. And then the rule I'm going to have is that I'm not going to. I can buy new things, but I can't start anything new until I've finished 2 pieces of unfinished work. If that makes sense. Say I've got 5 things on the go, I finish something, and then I start a new project. I've still got 5 things on the go. The next time I finish something, I can't start anything new. I've got to pick up another unfinished project to finish off, and then once I finish something, I'll pick something else out of the half done. Anyway, I'm waffling there. Right, so I'm going to leave it there. Hope you guys have fun. Peace out, and all the rest of it. Okay, stop this.